Hey everyone and welcome back to another video, and in this video, I'm going to be going over this Connecteam review. So this video is going to be useful for individuals who are deciding whether or not to use Connecteam for their team management. And so I've been using Connecteam for about a year now, and I must say that it's definitely one of the most comprehensive employee management platforms out there. But here are some things that you have to be aware about. Now let's start off with the pros. With Connecteam, you do get everything you need to manage a team, including time tracking, scheduling, employee communication, and even training modules, all in one app. Plus, their mobile app is really user-friendly for employees in the field, but the downside, or one of the downsides, is that it can get expensive pretty fast, and as you add more employees, and some features feel like they're trying to do too much at once. Now, the biggest cons of Connecteam though is that although it has tons of features, you do have to spend a lot of time setting everything up. And what I mean by that is there are so many different modules and settings that it can be very overwhelming at first when you first start, okay? So some months I love having everything centralized in one platform. Other months I get frustrated trying to find like a specific setting buried within their menus. And with Connecteam, I think the most time I've saved a lot of time with Connecteam, which is great, like almost 10 hours per week on scheduling and time tracking. But I've also spent entire afternoons just trying to configure like one feature properly. Other things with Connecteam that I didn't like or don't like currently is that their reporting features aren't as robust as dedicated HR or payroll software, and sometimes the app can be slow to sync between devices. And unlike specialized tools that do one thing really well, Connecteam sometimes feel like it's spread too thin across too many features. Now with Connecteam though, one thing to keep in mind is that you do have to take into account their per employee pricing, which can add up quickly if you have a larger team, okay? So while it might seem affordable for a few employees, the cost can escalate pretty fast as you grow your business. Now with Connecteam, there can be some resistance from employees who aren't tech savvy, so my recommendation is that you plan for proper training and onboarding when you roll it out. For me, for example, I had to spend extra time helping some of my older employees get comfortable with it, using the app for time tracking and communication. Now, here are my 3 tips for people who want to try out Connecteam. First tip is to start with their free plan and focus on just 1 or 2 features initially, because the platform can be overwhelming if you try to implement everything all at once. I started with just time tracking and scheduling before adding communication and training modules. Second tip is make sure your team is on board with using a mobile app for work-related tasks, because Connecteam is primarily mobile focused, and if your employees aren't comfortable with their smartphones, it's going to be a struggle. And I learned to check with my team first before committing to any mobile-first solutions. Third tip is to take advantage of their customer support during setup, because there's a lot to configure and their support team can help you avoid common mistakes. I saved a lot of hours by having them walk me through the initial setup instead of trying to figure out everything myself. My rule is that if you have fewer than 5 employees, Connecteam might be a bit overkill. But with Connecteam though, I'd say it's been a pretty good experience overall, especially for managing remotely. Field employees also have everything in one place, and this has definitely streamlined our operations. Connecteam customer support is also really responsive when you run into any issues, which is good. So with that being said, if you're considering Connecteam, I'd say just try it out. You won't know until you try it out. You could try out their free plan, which lets you test the core features before committing to any paid plans. But I hope you found this video helpful, guys. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments down below.